Well, infrastructure as an asset class, the idea is, or the concept is that there is a huge demand in infrastructure investments and capital needed for infrastructure. And in fact, there is capital out there from especially insurance groups and pension funds, which, given the capital markets these days and for the past years, are looking for investments with stable, long-term returns. And infrastructure investments can, and I must say can, have these characteristics. Not all of them do. And the spectrum of infrastructure investments can be from almost bond-like or real estate-like to private equity type. And this is important to understand because investors in the past have gone into more risky assets thinking or being told that these were actually less risky assets. So what is important is that you can't look at a bridge or a road or a power station and say it's low or high risk, because it doesn't tell you. It's not the brick which tells you. What tells you whether it's a high or low risk infrastructure is the contract behind, inside of that asset. And so you do need this knowledge, right? It's not rocket science, but yet it's not in-house existent in all those big, or in most big investment pools like pension funds, because it never was an issue. They all have real estate departments, they don't have this. There's such a need on the public side for infrastructure. Here's the capital. Can't be all that difficult to unite these two. Investors are exploring this. Everybody's terribly afraid, and I guess one has to say people who work in pension funds and in insurance groups usually aren't entrepreneur mind thinkers, right? So anyway, by their very nature, they are risk averse, which doesn't help. So you really have to get them comfortable, and they have, of course, all this past experience of the last 2 years, and introducing a new asset class is not easy, and I understand this. We see that Switzerland is actually moving forward right now quite strongly, more than the Germans. The Germans are always a little bit more hesitant. The Brits, interesting enough, while they are so much on the forefront with PPP as such, the pension funds are not all that ready to do this now. And Holland is an absolute disarray, so Holland is not moving, even though the two biggest European pension fund investors are in Holland. And yeah, so it's picking up. We are talking about billions, of course, by now, but we're not yet talking about those trillions, which I would say are possible, and there is no shortage. There is no shortage of investment opportunities, just the opposite.